Hello guys, it's Melissa and welcome to another video where today I'm building a kind of island beachy home for a family, and this is actually my third build on my channel in which I am basically building a home for the family that I play kind of in my spare time. I do actually enjoy playing the game. I know a lot of people love building houses and don't really do a lot of gameplay, but no, I love everything. I love making sims, and I love having families, and I love building homes. And I think I've said it before, but I always consider myself to be quite a boring sims player. Like, I don't like drama. I just like sort of making sims and then having families, and they all sort of do well in their jobs and have successful children, and I don't kill off sims, they always just die of old age. So yeah, it's quite boring, and I love just sort of doing the mundane tasks. I don't know, I think it's quite, I don't know, almost relaxing just to, live sort of vicariously through your sims and have them, I wish it was as easy just to sort of apply to be an astronaut, and after going to work for, I don't know, a few weeks, you're basically a top level astronaut. I wish it was that easy in real life, but yeah, no, I think it's quite fun. I get a lot of pleasure from, as I said, the mundane things like laundry, knitting, things like that is right up my street. So anyway, yes, I am playing with a family, and I wanted to basically move them to Solani because currently they are living in Mount Komorebi. So basically, when the Snowy Escape pack was released, and of course Mount Komorebi is the world that we got with that pack, I basically made two sort of young adult sims that were married, and I gave them a daughter, and then I made their house on my channel. I think it was like the first sort of Snowy Escape themed build that I did, and it was base game and Snowy Escape only. And I really liked that house, but then the Sims had another child, a boy, and then when they aged up, the house was just a little bit too small, so I built them another house. And I can't remember what build that was in my channel, but again, it was very much sort of Snowy Escape themed, but I did include some custom content in there as well, and it was a lot bigger. So I ended up having like a full house because we had like the parents, and then they had two kids, and then their oldest child, the daughter, her name's Kiko. And she ended up living with Nanami Ito, who, if you have the Snowy Escape pack, the Ito family is kind of the famous family of Mount Komorebi. So Megumi, I think her name's Megumi. She's like a top level snowboarder, I think. So the idea is like she's a famous like snow sports enthusiast. And then she has a child. She has a boy and a girl, and the girl, she's a child. Her name is Nanami. So she kind of went to school with Kiko, and then I kind of aged them up together, and they ended up living together and eventually getting married. So they then adopted a daughter who I called Haruki, and I love like googling Japanese names. I think they're absolutely beautiful names, so I've been trying to sort of use Japanese names throughout the family. So yeah, they had a child, Haruki, and Haruki's now a young adult, and sadly, like, her parents and her grandparents have passed away. We also had like cats. I had a bit of an issue with cats. We had like two cats, and then one of those cats ended up having 3 kittens. So at one point, yeah, we did have like 8 people in the household. So I'm used to it being sort of a very busy house. But now it's actually just Haruki and her boyfriend, well, fiance actually, who is Max Villarreal, who you may know comes from the Get Together pack. So he lived in Windenburg with his dad, Jacques, and then his 2 brothers, one brother, Hugo, and then his sister, Luna. So he's a child in the game. And usually I turn off aging for the neighborhood, so even though I'm on the 3rd generation of my family, he was still a child when Haruki was a child, so I kind of aged them up together. And now they're engaged, and they're at university as well. So yeah, and like the cats that we had 3 cats at one point. Sadly, they all passed away. The parents passed away, her grandparents passed away. So it is now just her and Max. So I thought, I'd kind of done everything I wanted to do with Snowy Escape. So like her grandparents had the 2 aspirations that we got with Snowy Escape. And I just felt like, it'd run its course. I'd been there a little while, but one sort of place that I have never actually lived is Sulani. There's a few reasons for that. I mean, I did buy Island Living, I think when I was already playing with another family, and also I think I bought like a few packs altogether, so I never really took the time to kind of explore the world and explore the gameplay. But also, I don't know, I just kind of consider the Island Living pack and Sulani just to be so sort of separate from the rest of the game, because the world's so different, the sort of gameplay is so different. I don't know, I know a lot of people do consider it to be a bit more of a resort world, especially after the most recent update. A lot of people just kind of use it for holiday destinations. But I thought, I wanted to kind of escape the cold and the snow of Mount Komorebi and move to the island of Sulani. So I had to sort of build them a beach house, and it is a very, very big house for the two of them. But I do plan for them to have 2 children. And also you'll see me put a lot of dog themed items. So after having cats for like 3 generations of Sims, I've decided that they will have a dog, but I've also given this house the dog friendly lot trait, which means that a lot of dogs will come and visit. So I've made sure to just put like food bowls and beds and stuff throughout the build. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to adopt a dog, or because I did that before. I think when I first bought cats and dogs, I sort of I had the dog friendly lot trait, and then I adopted like the first dog I saw because it was really, really cute. And then yeah, I just ended up with loads and loads of dogs on the lot. So I'll probably do the same thing as well. I think dogs and cats as well, they're really, really cute. And I know some people aren't the biggest fan of this pack. And I definitely think sort of the cats and dogs pack is lacking quite a lot, but I do think that they've made the pets really, really cute, especially when they're like kittens and puppies, the way they kind of like crawl up to their like pet bowl. And then also when like my cat gave birth to kittens and it would like lick the kittens and play with them, it was so, so cute. So yeah, I really, really like pets. I almost always have pets when I play with The Sims. So yes, I plan to have lots and lots of dogs. And it kind of like, this is one of my biggest gripes with The Sims 4, to be honest. If I know everyone has that like one thing that they wish would change about The Sims 4, and of course there's like serious things like, I know there's still problems with skin tones on console, but in terms of like the less serious things, the things that just kind of annoying, I wish I could change, it would definitely be either to increase the limit of Sims that you can have in your household like to 10, or ideally just to not have pets count towards the household size, because my son in that family, he ended up marrying Olive Tinker, who is the daughter of Yasmin and Tina Tinker that came with Eco Lifestyle, and I wanted to move her in. It was really funny because I had like my cats were elderly. I had 2 cats and they were elderly, and it meant that I couldn't move her in because it would have been too big a household. So one of the elderly cats died, so I was like, okay, that's one more slot, I can move her in. But what ended up happening was after that elderly cat died, the other elderly cat got pregnant with 2 kittens. So yeah, I still had a very full household and I couldn't move her in. So there's definitely disadvantages, and yeah, I would love to have like 3 or 4 pets sometimes, but you can't, because then you can only have not that many Sims, and I like to have lots of children as well, and I like my children to kind of live with their spouses, so that's the kind of player I am. So it's really annoying that you can only have 8 Sims. I do have MC Command Center, which means that you can of course increase your household size, but there is a huge risk when you do that some of your household can get deleted, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I would be absolutely devastated if that happens, so there is no way that I'm willing to risk it. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give like a little bit of a background in terms of, the sort of motivations behind building this house. I wanted to take my time with it, and it was really special to me because I am actually going to be playing with it. So most of the time when I build, it's just for fun, basically, but this is a lot more practical. So yeah, in terms of kind of personalities and things like that, Haruki is currently studying biology at university, and honestly, I don't know. My plan was for her to become a bodybuilder, but it also would kind of make sense for her to become a marine biologist. So I'm kind of debating between the two in terms of what career she takes up. Because I was planning, like I said, for them to have 2 kids, and I thought, how cute would it be? You know, one is a child of the island and one is a child of the ocean. And I thought they could kind of take the conservationist route, but I'm not sure if I want her to. I'm still kind of deciding that. But yeah, she is very athletic, she's a genius, and she loves the outdoors. So I thought, you know, moving her to the beach was perfect because, you know, she can go for like runs and swims, especially, you know, in terms of the location of the house. I thought it was perfect that they can literally just go downstairs out of their house and then swim in the ocean. So yeah, I really liked that little detail. And then Max, he already came with the evil trait as a child, and I didn't really want to change that. Again, I play very boring, so I never really play with like criminals or evil Sims or anything like that. You know, my Sims always like have positive traits and things like that. So I thought I'd like challenge myself, and he is currently studying villainy, and I plan for him to become an interstellar smuggler, which is a really, really cool career. And it's not one that I've actually tried out before. So he is also active and a genius as well as being evil. So yeah, that's basically the family. So I've sort of included things like the chessboard. And then also there is an indoor gym in this house just because they're both active and they're probably both going to need the fitness skill for their careers. Especially if Haruki becomes a bodybuilder. So yeah, I just thought that that was quite important to include. So yeah, I mean, the house is quite big, actually. It's really, really big. But again, I did kind of have in mind that I wanted to have sort of lots of pets around and lots of children as well. So I always found sometimes like I build a house and I really, really like it, but I can't really play in it because I, as I said, love to have children, and sometimes a house isn't really big enough to have sort of lots of children, so I wanted to create as much space as possible, which I think I did. I really liked this house. I really like sort of building with the island living pack. It's actually like the last expansion pack I bought sort of retrospectively. I mean, obviously the last expansion pack I actually bought was Snowy Escape because it came out most recently. But before Snowy Escape, because I sort of took a long break from playing The Sims and came back to it, I bought pretty much all the expansion packs, but I left Island Living till last because, again, it just feels a bit separate to me in terms of like the gameplay. And also I've mentioned it before, but I played The Sims 3 Island Paradise to death. And I know a lot of people actually prefer The Sims 3 Island Paradise because you could have, you know, resorts. And you could actually go under the water as well. So yeah, so I wasn't really kind of feeling the Island Living pack for a while, but now I have it. I'm really glad I do because I love the items in it. And I'm definitely looking forward to exploring the gameplay. I don't think I'm going to make either of my Sims a mermaid, but I definitely think that I will try and make their children a mermaid. I think that would be really, really fun. Because again, it's not something that I've actually experienced, and I want to basically explore the game as much as I can. I remember when my Sim married Olive Tinker, I planned to make her a vampire because, again, that's something that I haven't actually played with before. But then, yeah, as I said, my cats got pregnant, so I couldn't move her in. But yeah, that's another thing I'd like to explore. But I did think that it wouldn't work so well with living in Sulani, which is, of course, you know, very bright and sunny because it's an island. So I thought that having a vampire, that was kind of a recipe for disaster. So I'll probably save that one for a bit later and explore mermaids first. But yeah, I think we're coming up to the end of the build now. I hope you liked it. I did just want to say that I ended up changing the wallpaper on the outside of the house because it all looked very sort of samey. It didn't really look right, so I decided to sort of include a few different colours in there, and you can see it if you want to download this house because it is on the gallery. My Origin ID is MaddieJ1996. It's also in the description box below. So definitely you can download this if you want to, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. I've got loads more builds coming, as well as some other stuff as well. If you liked it, you can sort of give it a like, and also just say hello in the comments below. But yeah, until my next video, bye.